Hello, this is Thrash on That's Power Production channel at YouTube, and I am definitely back to give my thoughts on the new Megadeth album, which will be released tomorrow. It's called Dystopia, which I definitely this was one of the albums I wanted that was kind of anticipated for reviewing. Now, when Dystopia was going to be released, even though the information was given last year, there was a lot of, it was skeptical going into this album because of, given the fact that 2013 was the last time we heard a Megadeth album, which was Super Collider, which did not go well with many people. It's very mixed. There are people that actually, that like it, but most of the time you have people that really slammed it because of it was definitely a uninspired hard rock album. And I definitely was one that did not care for the album. So, and then after, of course, within either 2014, we end up hearing that Shawn Drover and Chris Broderick were leaving, and they did. They left, and the guitar player on here is Kiko. I'm not going to spell his last name because I might just butcher it. So, but there's a guest drummer on the album, which is Chris Adler. So obviously there were the two gaps that were definitely filled. But there is definitely a lot of skeptic going into the sound because we were the track listing was given out, and it just because we all were thinking, and especially me, that this is probably going to be another Super Collider. But let me just get this out of the way. It's not Super Collider Part 2. No, it isn't. It's definitely more closer to, let's say, even at times, maybe even some of the heavier parts of 13, or even at times maybe an Endgame. But it's definitely at times even close to like United Abominations. Or even, and plus there's definitely some of Rust in Peace in here that can be found. Definitely a much more of a thrash metal album. It definitely is, and there's definitely some good spots. There's some that I kind of thought was a little. I like to do my reviews based off of first impressions, and really the first impression is, there were some rocky moments on here, like not rocking, but kind of. There's just some moments where it kind of seems a little lopsided a bit, but it's definitely a pretty. It's definitely different in some ways. There's definitely some tricks up Dave's sleeve within these with the sound, especially with the intro to "The Threat Is Real," which is the song that kicks off the album. It's I want to say sort of like a Indian or very much kind of Iranian like intro. Of course, "The Threat Is Real" has to probably. It was written with all the panic or sort of like terror within ISIS. So, and plus the theme of this album has really got to do with the themes that are going on within these days, within what's going on, which Dave likes to write lyrics based off of what's happening within the world as we know it in these past few weeks and days and even year. It's especially with songs such as, of course, "The Threat Is Real." I guess even Dystopia might have some of it. I don't know. There's Post-American World probably seems, but again, this is all based off of first impressions. But there's definitely some heavier moments, and it's one of the heaviest moments that I can remember was got to be within the song "Lying in State." and which is just a thrash metal song. This is definitely, and the song before it is a instrumental which is called Conquer or Die, which at times at the end has some little word, probably speaking Arabic or something. I think I might butchered that. I think it did. But before going into Lying in State. But other than that, this is not a bad album. But if I have to say that there, as far as moments that really grabbed me, has to be the last song, which is actually a cover, which is Foreign Policy, which was originally recorded by the punk band Fear, which is no surprise since Dave Mustaine was in MD45, which was had Lee Ving, who was Fear. So it's definitely what you expect. It's definitely close to at times to the MD45 sound. That kind of very punk infused heavy metal / thrash metal. But other than that, this isn't a bad album. It's definitely more thrash metal than Super Collider, but to say that it's better than Super Collider, in some ways, it's probably it is, but it's not nearly as. And then again, this is just first impressions. It's probably not as good as Endgame, or even maybe United Abominations. Definitely, it's not as. It's not going to top the classics that of Megadeth, but it's still not a bad album. It's definitely worth the listen. Oh, if I normally don't do scores, but I have to say this, probably a 71 out of 100. I feel this is a bit of a 71 out of 100 is probably the thing I'll do, but then again, the whole 100 score thing is CKN, so I'm going to go by the score that I would give it if I was reviewing this for Forces of Steel forums. So this is a bit of a 7 out of 10. That's all I can say, a 7 out of 10. Yeah, not bad. I may pick this one up so I can give it several spins to see how it does over time, over the past of the year. But still, definitely a bit of a return to form. Kiko did add some great guitar solo. I guess he might have added some guitar solos. He probably did, because there's definitely some great guitar solos with him. There's definitely some great guitar work. Even Dave, for some points, he sounds a little more sinister, which is definitely evident within Fatal Illusion. I know I'm going on a bit more on, because I just gave it the score, which is 7 out of 10. But still, pretty good. Alright, this is everything I was saying. I am out. And I may be back.